Make sure this is going smoothly. Oh, I see. Oh, actually, that's what's happening. Alright, so I can adjust this. That makes more sense. So I put this. There we go. Okay, hopefully I have this right this time. Alright, we'll get started in a second. Check. Good evening. All right, wait 1 second. Mezzo Matt. Mezzo Matt, talk to me. What are you seeing? Starting stream at 8 a.m. and covering all day. Do you expect anything happening in the morning? I'm going to review it now. We're going to go over some stuff. That we are. That we are. I might give you a call in a second, Matt. Get your opinion on this. I'm gonna let people get in stream here. Did I finally fix my TikTok stream setup? Let's see. Let us see. How do I... let's see. 1 second, guys. See if I fix my... Okay, I think it looks better. Okay, much better. Okay. Yeah, that's better. You've seen Rain before, Tufts? I'm gonna turn on this music. I'm gonna give Matt a call. I'm gonna look at some stuff with him. Alright, give me 1 second. Oh, I want to do one other thing. I want to do something here. No, that's not what I want. Is it device manager? Audio's inputs and outputs, properties. No, that's not it. 1 second, guys. I need to fix something real quick on my end. Sound. More sound settings. There we go. Speakers. Properties. Enhancements. Okay. I should be good now. What's going on, everyone? 100 people in here? All right. Matthew, call incoming. Mezzo Matthew. Guys, can everyone hear me? Because the other night I was talking on YouTube for a good 20 minutes and I was muted. Oh, hey Matt.
Hello.
Well, let's talk about this. Wait, let me grab a Red Bull real quick here. Do I want to go with Wildberry? Do I need what's this red one? Watermelon? Do I want strawberry apricot or tropical something? Yeah.
Definitely watermelon.
Watermelon. I agree. Watermelon's pretty good. All right, what are we seeing? What are we seeing, Matt?
A slop fest tomorrow, honestly. I think Arkansas, Southern Missouri is kind of the main spot. I can see an enhanced trust being introduced. I can see it not being introduced. I have a theory, though.
Let me hear it.
I was telling the team earlier, I think every single enhanced trust except the Indrelin enhanced trust where we got the ES5 from has busted this year. So I wonder if we get an enhanced trust, if it busts, if it stays slight, it goes.
You might be onto something. You might be onto something there.
My thoughts there. But generally, though, speaking, though, instability is a big time issue. I've been watching each run of the her all afternoon. I've watched all the OOZ stuff come in. Besides the Rufus doing what it does. Believe it or not, the her actually puts the favorable tornado spot now in Louisiana and Mississippi overnight tomorrow. It's got that squall line really intensifying down there with instability around 2,000
Yeah,
plus.
I do agree. Let me actually go to. I'm gonna look it up on over here. Tornado wise, what the hell? Oh my god, load pivotal. Going down to the 850 millibar level, you can see a ton of vorticity down at the 850. Yeah, right through Arkansas, and then up eastern Arkansas. Who knows? You could get a leading edge kind of QLCS with a lot of spin through western Tennessee. But here, let me actually move where this is. Is this 8? What are we on? 18Z. You're probably lagging a second behind me, but I've been busy all day, so I want to take a real nice look at this. A real nice deep look at this. Yeah, there's all that.
I wonder too if we wake up tomorrow and we have more instability than actual, because they're accounting for cloud cover across much of the worm sector tomorrow, which has been cloudy today outside. So I can definitely test for that, because I'm sitting in almost into 5% tomorrow.
Yeah, that does look like a lot of rotation. Yeah, you are. I want to look at some of this stuff while I have you on the phone. Are you? What have you been going off? I mean, I like the Rufus. Typically, Rufus is looking a little. It's definitely giving the most bullish look. Am I wrong?
Yeah. So the biggest reason on why this is not a bigger tornado threat and more linear is because the exit back into the trough is coming in is going to be late, synced up with the moisture. So the little shear's coming in late. Everything's coming in late. The instability is just garbage.
Yeah.
Other than down south and like some Louisiana, Arkansas, Southern Missouri. So it looks like the afternoon, convection.
Yeah.
Will really get a linear line going, but the second this hits the West Tennessee, West Mississippi, and Illinois,
Yeah.
it's just gonna fall apart.
Do you see the sounding I just pulled?
Let me take a look here. Yes.
Southern Missouri.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. That sounds about right. Yeah, it's Southern Missouri, Arkansas area. And
Yeah.
It looks like too, these storms are gonna fire off around 6, 7 a.m. Over eastern.
Uh-oh, you said it. Now my chat's gonna go crazy. You said the meme. Chat, just grow up, okay? I'm gonna get ahead of this. You said the meme. Oh, here they go. Oh, here they go. Yeah, listen. What's funny is there was a ton of slight / enhanced looks in spring, and we always had a ridiculous amount of cape there, but that we didn't get kind of like the vorticity or like the there were other factors that were left outside of it. This one, the one thing that I think you're right, the cape, and it's been like this for 5 or 6 days. The cape just looks, I mean, it's sufficient enough, 1,000 joules per kilogram or more, but it's not much to work with.
I really wonder, and this is just like, I've been thinking about this for the last couple of days, because we've had this happen a couple times with these fall events. Do we wake up tomorrow with more instability than forecasted, and then this goes?
Yeah. What's happening up at our 500 millibar level? I want to see how this is moving in, and then look at the vorticity map real quick before I get off the phone with you.
No, you're fine.
Okay, so interesting. So this is actually a storm system. We've got our main polar jet up to the north, and then you've got this separate storm system down here. This low pressure kind of meeting up with that upper level. Yeah. Okay. And so those kind of start clashing right over eastern Oklahoma. So what do you think the impacts of this, of our actual jet up to the north with the shortwave trough is? You think that's enhancing it, or you think that's taking away from it a little bit?
Well, we would want, it's just the timing of it. So
You would be the timing. You would want it to be a little bit farther out ahead of this.
you want that jet stream
Yeah.
to be intact with that shortwave trough as storm during or across the river, because that's your divergence and your diffluence.
Yeah. Yeah. So you would want this more back here, and you'd want your shortwave trough out on the leading edge of this, with a.
Basically seeing them merge after
Yeah.
the final almost.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. If this shortwave, if this trough to the south was a little bit slower, we'd probably have no severe weather at all.
Yeah.
It'd be caught behind this,
And if
our
it
main
was,
jet.
Quicker, we would be looking at probably a way bigger scenario than what we're seeing now.
If we had potentially a moderate if it was right out ahead of it.
Absolutely, I agree 100%. Because the local jet is ridiculous with this system.
Yeah. So who knows? Maybe this speeds up. If this speeds up a little bit overnight through the morning, our system to the south. Yeah, if it outruns it a little bit, that we're gonna get. You're right. There's gonna be a ton more instability.
Yeah, and I think the trend too, at least on the herd, a little bit on the NAM 3K, less convection in the morning. So we'll see if the sun pops up.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you, Connor, I've literally watched every single hour run of each run today. I've done this with Stalking.
Yeah. Yeah, no, because you've been waiting for something. I see. It doesn't look like we have many rain showers, especially through Arkansas and northeastern Texas in the morning. Man, if we get none, that'll be interesting. But you're right. This just.
Storms are struggling right now too over in Missouri and Kansas.
Yeah, dude, you're right though. If our storm system is a little bit slow, this could end up just being a rain tomorrow. We could have like absolutely nothing. Yeah, but and again, this would actually affect Sunday's severe chances too if it did speed up too, though, because we could end up having a slighter enhanced out to the east, headed towards the Mid-Atlantic. Oh, interesting. Oh wow. Okay, well.
I do have a quick question for you on the tropics.
Yeah.
What's going on? I just saw, I've seen every model now basically blocking off this tropical wave for the next 2 weeks down in the Gulf, or down in the Caribbean, and just there's going to be a ton of shear that's going to basically keep this thing stuck down there.
Yeah, we have, so we have like the GFS seeing TCG within 6 days now, in the central to eastern Caribbean. I want to look at, where does it see this,
It looks like we're just going to have a 500.
oh yeah, I see. We're seeing a ton of shear build up out to the north ahead of this.
Yeah.
I want to pull up something real quick and take just another current look at what's going on in the tropics, because the Caribbean is still, I mean, there's a ton of shear to the north right now, but this is,
Have you noticed too, the GFS and the GFS ensembles have two lows forming? They both have.
they do, but that makes sense. None of this shear was this far south earlier. If you go back 5 days, we had a lot of open air up here, so this is kind of collapsing into the Caribbean. Right now, the Caribbean's still perfect. I mean, no shear and no dry air, but you're right. Look at it. With that shear to the north, is this dry air's collapsing into the Caribbean. So
I wonder too if the models are just having a struggle with initializing that, because we've seen this back and forth trend, because this morning I woke up, Google Deep AI models were all in sync on an out to sea curve, and now they're back to all over the place. So
I think this is going to be a timing thing. Does this outrun this kind of collapsing shear and dry air that we see to the north? And we're going to have our system that's moving across the country now moving out and probably helping to enhance a subtropical jet out over this region as well.
Correct.
Mm.
My biggest question too is, do we keep this thing sitting down there in the Caribbean until the 30th, and once November gets here, it's still...
Well, what's funny is I do see a scenario where we get a storm forming here and it kind of meanders like this, because it gets stuck. It can't be pulled to the north because you're going to have some blocking up here, but it can't go off to the northwest either because of our jet. So we could end up having, just a little meandering system in here for a while. So
Yeah. And that's a headache for anybody that's trying to forecast.
I know. Yeah, but that's the life we chose.
Love it.
That's the life we chose. Hey, I miss you. Let's talk more. I've been super slammed this week, but let's talk. We're gonna talk tomorrow during this event. I'll be trying to live stream a good portion of it, and we'll get the chats involved.
Sounds good to me.
All right, love you, bro. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Love you, bro.
All right, chat. I had to catch up. All right. All right. All righty. Anyways, let's talk. We're gonna really break down the severe weather event tomorrow. We're gonna break down winter. We're gonna break down all sorts of fun stuff. Mezzo with the galaxy. Thank you, Mezzo man. I appreciate the galaxy. Shout out, Mezzo. Yo, you're awesome. I appreciate you, dude. Marissa, Katie, Jasmine, KJ, Larry, what's going on, everyone? We're gonna get started here. How's Shreveport looking? We're gonna get into all this stuff. We're gonna go through our forecast. Let me take one more big sip of my watermelon Red Bull. Spicy. Okay. Let's just go through the parameters. I think the best thing we can actually look at right now is a vorticity map, because Matt is correct. The timing is going to be major on this. So if I was me, I'll show you what I'd want to look at. Oh, that's right. I am me. I'll show you what I'd want to look at. I don't actually think the Rufus is going to show me it. I think I actually have to go to a different model. That's fine. Does HRRR baby have it? I should know which one of these has it, but whatever. I want height and vorticity. Oh, the NAM will have it for sure. The NAM's going to have height and vorticity. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. What the heck, man? I don't want to have to use a global. Matt, do any of our short range models have a height and vorticity, wind height vorticity map or parameter? Those are 12K. Oh, there it is. Wow. Okay, this is still kind of whatever. This is the NAM 12K, but this is what I want to look at. Here we go. Height and vertical velocity. I didn't mean, yeah. I want vorticity. There we go. Velocity is fine, but I want vorticity. 500 millibar, 850 millibar vorticity. This is a good map to look at for this. All right. Where you see the purples, the reds, that's where we've got a little spin. And the stronger your vorticity, typically, if you're talking about with a storm system, that's going to be the deeper the low pressure gets, because as your pressure drops, your wind speeds tend to increase, and with the low pressure, you're going to have a counterclockwise circulation, so that circulation will speed up. So here's our system. Wow, this is very unimpressive. Yeah, this is unimpressive right here. All right, so here's our system, but here's our kind of main jet stream up here to the north that's digging down just a tiny bit here. That's going to try to link up with our storm system down here from the south. And the timing of this is going to determine how enhanced this storm system is, this shortwave trough, and this is going to determine what our day looks like tomorrow. It really is. This is very similar to like how you can look at winter storms. If this was this is not a very this is a positive I can't talk, guys. Positively tilted trough, and you're not going to get as much juice out of a system with a positively or even a neutrally tilted trough. As the storm system moves off to the east, you start to get kind of a negative tilt, and this would be like if we were in the wintertime. Potentially big snow system, snowmaker for the northeast, but it's starting to look okay as it's coming together here over Arkansas, Missouri, southern Illinois, western Kentucky, western Tennessee. We get this kind of neutral tilt. We're going to get some energy pulled into here. It's going to try to get some rotation along through this area. But I think Matt's right. At least on the NAM really sees this thing timed. I'm going to go right into severe weather, and I have a feeling if I look at the NAM, I have a feeling if I look at, where is it here? Yeah, I have a feeling this is not going to show anything impressive on the NAM. Let me actually go to the NAM 3K because they're going to use similar reflectivities. So let's see here. Yeah, not impressive at all. Not surprised to see that on the NAM. Now, the Rufus disagrees. The Rufus thinks we could have a pretty decent severe weather day tomorrow, so it's kind of up in the air, but look at our NAM. There's like no supercell, You barely got any supercell activity popping up on the NAM. And that's not surprising based on this being a positively to possibly a late neutral tilt. So it's rainstorms, you know. Now, the Rufus sees it differently, although I can't. Let me see if I can actually. Oh, I have the 000Z Rufus now. Actually, this is good. This is what we want. This is really important. Okay. Okay, slight. I don't even know if I'd call this a downtrend. Almost looks like a downtrend through Arkansas, but there's a little bit of a. Something was a little. It's really giving the southern end of this storm tomorrow. Of this kind of QLCS down through Arkansas and Louisiana, a little bit of a high wind look here. I mean, we could potentially get, this is what we could get it enhanced for wind if we were to see something like the Rufus down here. Up north, a little bit of action up there. A little bit of action up through this region still on the latest Rufus. Let's go back in and see how it sees this rolling through. I want to see how it sees the timing of this again. Let's look at our 850 millibars. This is the latest. This is the latest Rufus 12Z. I mean, you can see that kind of the center of this low up here with a decent spin. This is where we're going to try to really get things rotating as we push into western Arkansas. But when you look at the actual reflectivity, what it thinks is going to happen out here, it just doesn't look, it's not looking impressive in this area. And I think that has a little bit to do with the instability. With the latest Rufus, I want to take a look at all the latest stuff here. So surface-based Cape. Oh my God, that was my work email going off. That's the scariest thing ever. Here we go. Yeah, there's just not a ton still. Not a ton of instability showing up through here. How's our Cape looking a little bit farther up to the north? You get a little bit of, again, this would be interesting for Mesomat. He lives, well, we'll just say in and around this region, so I don't dox him. But we've actually got, I think, our most impressive tour look potentially up here to the north. Let's look at our southern Illinois, western Kentucky right now. Portions of southeastern, maybe central to southern, southeastern Missouri. Let me look at, let's look at our bulk shear down here. Not terrible. Let's look at helicity down near the surface. SRH. Yeah, you see you get a decent Sigtor param out here. Just pull some soundings. It doesn't look like we're going to have an issue with inhibition. I can tell you that. I'm not really seeing any capping. I don't know. At this point, it's a timing thing. It looks like it's going to be a little bit too slow. It looks like it's going to be a little bit too slow, but it might not be. We don't know for sure, but it looks like it's going to be a little bit too slow. If we were to zoom out here, where do I think the biggest impact, in my opinion, could be right now? The Rufus is really making me think they could put a little enhancement south for wind reasons. We could have some strong winds down there through portions of northeastern Texas, northern Louisiana, central to southern Arkansas. So, I don't know. If we were to get an enhanced, I at this point, I'd have to give my best bet. Would actually be through here, and it would be something to do with wind. Or it would be wind driven, I mean, not something to do with. Hi. Yeah. Got him. Artiste. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Yeah, I mean, we're going to have these storms initiating over you guys. It looks like the worst is going to be out to your east, but I'd still pay attention if you're in Tulsa because it's going to be close where these initiate. You're in Texarkana, Lauren? Hey. We have someone else who's part of the climate crew that's also in Texarkana. Maybe you guys know each other. I don't know if I'm allowed to dox them. Are they in chat? I don't think they're in chat. We'll see when they get in chat. I gotta figure out if I can dox them. It's not really doxing if you say the city they live in, right? I'm not gonna give her address. She's not here yet? Okay. Everyone knows who it is. Kansas City tomorrow? Kansas City looks like it's gonna be okay. You can get some general thunderstorms. I think this map's pretty accurate, actually. Even with, I wouldn't even move the slight. I actually think this. Typically, I'm like, this is wrong. I would move this and move this and move this. I think this slight's pretty good. It might do a little shifting. If we do get an enhanced, like I said, at least right now, I'm favoring like down here, wind-driven enhanced. What do you think, Matt? If we were to get enhanced, I don't know. I'm seeing some. You know, this is where the most instability is. We're having a big instability issue up here to the north. So, you know, and we're seeing kind of a maybe like a little bit of a strong kind of QLCS kind of. I don't want to say like a mini derecho setup. It's not. I don't think it's going to be that powerful, but I think we could get some strong straight line winds down here to the south. I think the drop. Wait, what? Clarksville, Tennessee? I'm trying to remember exactly where Clarksville, Tennessee is. I feel like I should know that. I've covered Clarksville, Tennessee enough. Is it by Nashville? When I'm not doing... oh, there it is. Yeah, okay, so it's to the northwest of Nashville. Yeah, Clarksville could get involved, but it'd be pretty late into the night. These storms should be dying off by the time they get to Clarksville, but... It's possible to get a severe storm or two in the area of Clarksville as we get late into the evening, into the early morning hours of Sunday. You think they get rid of the 5 tour? Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah, Matt, I think you're right. You know, and we could, like you said, I mean, we've seen so many downtrends, you know, and so many events that ended up being weaker than what we thought. It almost feels like it's time for one to be stronger than we think, right? But I almost think you're right. I think I'm not seeing anything that's yelling large 5% tour, which is what we have right here, guys. I'm not seeing anything that suggests a massive 5% tour zone like that does. Oh, no. Yeah, I've seen that. I was looking at that, Matt. I was looking at that here. Let's go up here. Look at that thing. All right, here. But here's what I like. Here's what I like with this at the end of the GFS. Look at this absolute unit of a polar freaking cold plunge. Whatever clickbaity words you want to use, it's that. Now I've been saying for a while, I think the real cold collapse, the real polar jet collapse and cold air actually sticking around happens closer to the second week of November. But this would be November 1st. I was talking about this. We could see some Halloween snow in the Great Lake region and inner New England. Some Halloween snow potentially, depending on the speed of this. Yeah, 2% is enough. I agree. By the way, you guys know how cold now this is at the end of the GFS run, so don't pay too much attention to it. But we've had a lot of blocking over the Arctic. We have officially moved into our weak La Nina. We've got a very steep temperature gradient out there between our subpolar North Atlantic and our North American landmass out east. And then we've got a warm NPO. All these things are pointing towards some nice Greenland blocking setting up and a good enhanced jet stream. So also 8 to 9 times out of 10 when you have a very warm September and October, you have very cold November and December. It's just a weird analog thing. It doesn't even matter what Enzo you're in. That's typically what happens. So a lot of things are pointing towards this big swing in our temperatures in early November. So even though this is at the end of the model run, I still kind of think we could see something like that. I still think we're not really going to get that shift till November, the second week of November. But if you want to know what these temperatures would actually look like, well, let me show ya. Let's go to the Ohio Valley. We're talking wind chills in the freaking teens in portions of the Ohio Valley, I think. Check this out. Look at this. Yeah, look at that. We got 19-degree wind chill in Kentucky if this were to happen. And this would literally be basically Halloween night. October 31st, November 1st. Imagine having a wind chill in the teens. We're talking about wind chills in the 20s into Georgia, potentially October 31st, November 1st, if this were to happen. This is at the end of the run, so we're not going to see this happen like this. It could happen later, could happen earlier, but I am a big believer in this jet, our polar jet collapsing somewhere around the end of, I would say more the beginning of November. If we take a look and we pull out here, we'll get back to severe weather and I'll answer more questions. But we take a look and we pull out here towards North America. Actually, let's just go to the northern hemisphere and let's take a look at what's happening. Let's take a look at some blocking heights. We'll do 500 millibar. Here we go. Consistent heights that are just kind of rolling around up here right in our Arctic. So this is just constantly disturbing at least our tropospheric polar vortex. But we've already seen, and I can show you what's happening in the stratosphere. Our stratospheric polar vortex is dealing with some things as well. It's having a bad time. Our stratospheric polar vortex is having a bad time too. It's got high heights stuck up here too. So we've got some warmer temperatures in the stratospheric and tropospheric polar vortex. And the longer that lasts, look at this. Look as we move forward. I mean, oh my gosh. Look as we move forward. This is an incredible disruption to our stratospheric polar vortex, which is the one that brings us our big polar. You want to know what happened to Texas and whatever it was, 2019, 2021, where all the windmills froze and broke. Windmills are stupid. But you want to know what happened? That was a complete collapse of our stratospheric polar vortex. Listen, windmills kill birds. They need wind, so they don't run all the time, and they freeze. We have so many better ways to get clean energy than windmills. I have no issue with clean energy, but I've also thought windmills are so stupid. I actually truly think that's the one clean energy where I'm like, I think windmills is just straight up money laundering. I do. I think anyone who's selling windmills and installing windmills is money laundering. Sorry if any of your families own windmill farms. I think it's money laundering. All right. This right here would be an ultimate disruption to the stratospheric polar vortex. I mean, this would be like, this is right center Arctic. That those words didn't make any sense. And now you're seeing all these, and this is in the stratosphere, so don't worry about too much of this. But what happens here is you get all of this cooler air stretched out and released because your stratospheric polar vortex it slows. The winds around it slow and they start to wobble. And as soon as this stuff is dumped, it doesn't matter if it's dumped on our side of the world or not, our side of the globe or not, it's going to get dumped, and those wobbles are going to start moving like this around up in the northern hemisphere, and that's when you get extremely bitter cold. We're talking 30-40 degrees below average days. So this to me is just confirming everything I've thought about November. But remember, there's a lag with the not as much with the tropospheric vortex, but the stratospheric polar vortex. Typically, when you get all this heat in these height anomalies in the stratospheric polar vortex, it can be up to a 2 to 3 week delay. But we're already starting to see, anomalies up there. But seeing this, the 27th, I would say mid-November, we could really see the effects of this. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, do you know what the CFS sees here moving forward, guys? Monthly temperature. Let me show you something. Look what it sees for December, CFS. Monthly temperature anomaly. It couldn't get any colder than that, right? Wrong. That's what it sees for January. You want to talk about having a record-setting cold January? This is 100% pulling off of those height anomalies in the stratospheric polar vortex through the beginning of November. 100%. Because those weren't looking as solid as they are now, and then you see the CFS update to this. It's 100% what it's pulling from. Yikes. I agree, B. Hey, B, shout out to you for always commenting on my videos, helping the algorithm. You're a great weather teacher, Papa. That's all I want to be. I'm getting out my other video. I'm getting out my video on hodographs because I did the one on the skew T chart. I'm putting out my video on hodographs tomorrow, I think. I might need to give you a call just a quick call some point tomorrow because of everything on a sounding, hodographs are still the most confusing. So like I understand how to read a hodograph, but they're still that's still a little weird. But yeah, look at that, guys. Look at that. You know, our Canadian really likes the same type of thing. A little less enhanced, but still pretty cool for us up there. But the CFS and then the European seasonal just thinks it's always going to be hot. That's just how this thing works. Don't pay attention to it. Let's go with the Hodies. What's wins for the Ohio Valley Sunday? You want to take a look at some wins? Let's take a look at some wins. Let's go into... Oh, we don't want upper air winds. Surface wind. Look at miles per hour. And let's go into the Ohio Valley. There we go. Pushing to Sunday. I mean, sustained winds are pretty nice. We're talking 20 to 30 mile per hour sustained winds in some areas. Nothing crazy, though. Nothing crazy here. It would look crazier probably if we went here. And it would be 80 meter wind speed. This is a little bit off the surface. Nothing crazy, but they're gusting. They're gusting here. You can see some, and this isn't gusts here. This is sustained. So if we wanted to take a look at wind gusts, the wind gusts would probably look somewhat impressive here through the Ohio Valley. Let's take a look at wind gusts. We'll take a look at the HRRR. Let's take a look at Gus. Here we go. Now you can see here we're seeing, some gusting, 40 mile per hour gusts. Almost getting tropical storm force gusts through southern Illinois there, and then pushing up into really strong gusts through Indiana. Moving into Sunday, look at that, some strong gusts. This is what I'm talking about. You're seeing 50s up, potentially even 60s through these areas. So 50, 60 mile per hour gusts. 50, 60 mile per hour gusts. Locally, you could see more through this area on Saturday and Sunday, yeah, with some of this weather. Because that's why, it's fine. Showing sustained wind speeds is fine, but then everyone sees 20 miles per hour. Oh, but like a 20 mile per hour sustained wind is like pretty windy all day. That's sustained. How's Detroit doing for this winter? Detroit's expected to see below average temperatures this winter, and I would say average to slightly above average snow. Yeah. Let's take a look at our teleconnections. You know I love my teleconnections. Not seeing much. A little bit of I always say, if you're really within 1 and 1, there's nothing going on. But get down to -2. Something interesting happening there at the end of October. A little bit of an Arctic oscillation disturbance, guys. So again, this is going to probably have something to do with our tropospheric vortex anomaly, but I think this is. I'm excited for November. You guys should all be excited for November. I'm still very confident that this is going to be an upfront. That this is going to be a more aggressive winter to start November through, I'd say, mid-January. I think by January 1st, there's going to be a lot of people that are like, get me out of winter. We're looking forward to it now. Our WPO is coming back down. PNA. Okay, so we're seeing as we get towards the end of October. So our teleconnections mean a lot more the closer we get into northern hemisphere winter, because the jet stream is way more. What's the word I'm looking for? It's way more variable especially into our winter than it is in the summer. You've got a typical westerly flow with the subtropical jet, and you've got your polar jet just up around the Arctic over summer. Not much is happening. Holy crap, Claire. What the hell? Did I just read that correctly? Thank you, Claire. You the best. Dang. I'm going to Buffalo Wild Wings tomorrow night. On Claire. I don't know why I have everything I thought of Buffalo Wild Wings. Yo, that was awesome. I appreciate you. Holy crap. Gemini NTX. I appreciate you guys. Blazing. Holy crap. Okay. Anyways, I don't even know what I was talking about. That was wild. Straight to B-dubs. All right, guys, I gotta go. No, PNA. When you get into winter and you have this very variable collapsing jet stream that's not kind of locked in place, your teleconnections can really tell a story like they can't tell over summer. So here we go. Our PNA is going positive. Our AO is collapsing end of October potentially. What's happening with our NAO? Whoa! Well, we already knew this was going to be negative. That's why you have that cold air sitting out there November 1st. All right. All right. We're on track. 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 Everything we're looking at right here says cold air is coming back into the plains, into the east. And who knows? Great Lake region, inner New England could get a nice little snowstorm around Halloween. Unless I wake up tomorrow and it decides that this thing doesn't want to be amplified at all, and we are actually stuck in that heat till the second week of November. Possible, but I like what I'm seeing here. I better take my boyfriend. Oh, Matt, are you gonna drive up here? No, Claire, don't go crazy now. Holy shit. Okay, wow, that was awesome. Let me see, Dalton. Hopefully the leaves don't fall off. I'm loving the colors in Central Ohio. Oh! All right, now I'm going to the Cheesecake Factory. Okay, Claire, I won't accept anymore. That is crazy. No more. Someone block Claire. No, I'm kidding. That's crazy. That's wild. That's wild. New York City. Okay, yeah, sorry. I got to keep covering weather. All right, MVP. Shout out Claire. Jeez. Holy crap. All right, well, anyways, let's keep talking about this. Yeah, so anyways, end of October, beginning of November. I want to show you this really quickly here. Let's just take a look at... We'll go crazy. We'll look at the end of run here for fun. There's through November 1st. Look at that. A little bit of snow, maybe. Look at that. The GFS thinks we get a little bit of snow in Appalachia, southern Appalachian mountain range. Buffalo, it sees a ton of snow in Buffalo around Halloween. We got any Buffalo people in here? Northwestern Pennsylvania, even Rochester, New York, upstate New York could get a little bit of snow if we see this kind of type of pattern. So, hey, you know what I'm saying? Look at a little bit of, look, it's giving you a little bit of snow chance up there in northern Indiana. Buffalo here. Yeah, well, listen, this is at the end of the run, but I'm just saying with this pattern, I could see some snow getting up there. Who knows? We're not going to see this exact run, obviously, but look at that. Look at that. You think you can get a cool 2 feet of snow in Buffalo, New York before it's November 1st? Interesting little setup we got here. Let me go into the GFS ensemble. Actually, GFS weekly. I sent you the lion. Now give me snow. That is all I ask. Yo, we're going to make it happen. I will pray to the weather gods. Okay, here, let's move out. That's crazy. Actually, that's crazy, Claire. Thank you. That's wild. Here's the GFS 35-day snowfall expectations. Again, I think the majority of this comes in November, early November. But yeah, we'll see. Major pattern flip ahead. Not clickbait? I think so. Where's that? Where's that, Snappy Danny? But yeah, Dalton, I agree. The colors in Minnesota right now are beautiful around Minneapolis. And like my parents are coming up to visit next weekend. My stepmom's coming up to visit. Maybe my dad, we'll see. But I'm like, slow down. I want them to see the colors because now they're falling off quickly. Central Jersey. Listen, Central Jersey could get an early December snow with how cold we think it's going to be. But November might be difficult. Still got very warm waters regulating your temperatures right off. You know, you've got your Gulf Stream doing something like that. Actually, you have it coming out of the Caribbean and you have it circulating. So that's going to regulate your temperatures up there for a little bit longer. No, not in Philly anymore. I'm in Minnesota now. The blue means dark blue 6 inches, light blue an inch of snow, 2 inches of snow. What do you think our Europeans adjusted to? Yeah, the Euro thinks we could have a foot of snow just to the north of Minneapolis and then before mid November. Actually, that'd be out to December 2nd. They're both being aggressive with snow. They're being very aggressive. They're being extremely aggressive out here in BC as well. Warm NPO, we're going to have a lot of storm systems moving into Western Canada to start the season off. So this is... I'll sign off on this as well. I'll sign off on that. I'll sign off on this. I'm confident in this. Early season rocky snow. We'll see about this. This is a little bit of a question mark. Let's see where our pattern sets up. What about Arkansas storms tomorrow in Missouri? Yeah, here, let's go back talk about severe weather a little bit. We have our let's look at our I haven't looked at our I used to love our 00. I used to love our HRRR, and I don't know, it went on a stretch where it was just getting everything wrong, and I'm like, did they change the freaking algorithm or something on this thing? Because HRRR has just not been it lately. But here we go. HRRR does see a little bit of severe action, supercell action up there in Missouri going to southern Illinois tomorrow. Timing wise, we're talking late afternoon, early evening. Not much. Does not show much. And I can tell you why. Again, it's the timing. It's the timing. Okay, listen. I think the southern end of this, we could see something. Let me go back to what I was talking about. I think if we get an enhanced, it's going to be down here, and it's going to be for wind. We're talking central to northern Louisiana, northeastern Texas, central to southern Arkansas, maybe west central Mississippi. But as I said, the big issue that I'm seeing is, let's go to the 500. Where these systems meet. There's our, what would technically be called our polar jet right now. Shortwave trough. Ejecting. That means it's catching on to this, upper piece of energy here. Our actual polar jet in this case. And ejecting off into the northeast. Getting enhanced, injected off to the northeast. We're not seeing that tilt. It's a positive to a neutral tilt. So we're not getting that really strong vorticity and strong kind of moisture pull off the Gulf until we start to get up through kind of like the Ohio Valley up into this region, where we could see some potential severe weather up here. That we're not going to have, I think, the moisture content up here for as much instability as we could have down here through Dixie Alley. So I think the timing's just off. If we look at these, here's our main storm system that's going to be trying to cause all the severe weather. Here it is. And here's our jet. If this piece of energy was like a little farther, I'd say like right here, this would really take off. This thing would tilt and it would, and we'd probably get a big enhanced out through here, maybe even a moderate. It's just a little slow. It's just a little slow. But I feel like if we get more dry weather tomorrow morning, it could be bad. Yeah. I mean, that's always going to enhance it. I still don't think. I think Matt's right. I still think the timing of the shortwave trough in our jet to the north is a little bit slow. But yeah, if it's dry, you'll have a better chance of some bad weather. 100%. And taking a look at, we have a pretty updated NAM 3K. Taking a look at our reflectivity on our NAM 3K. Actually, I don't even want to take a look at that. Let's take a look at, yeah, here we go. It looks pretty dry. Especially, I'd say, like I said, central southern Arkansas, central northern Louisiana, and northeastern Texas. I would just say eastern Texas in general. It looks pretty dry. Now, I'm not sold on the strong supercells we're seeing popping up through central to southern, or yeah, central to southeastern Missouri, southern Illinois, western Kentucky, because it looks like there is going to be some decent rainfall out ahead of the system, and you can see it right here. Right, guys? That's rain-cooled air, so that's not going to be as unstable once your shear locks in there. So the place that's looking the juiciest to me, the spiciest, why did I say juiciest? Weird. The spiciest is definitely down in this region here. 100%. Claire's back. Guys, give me 1 second. Let me put this loop on so people know what the heck is going on. Give me 1 second. One second. I'm back. Wait. Shout out the Orlando. Wait. How do I say this? Harden. We'll say Harden. I appreciate you. Every time I see someone type DFW, my brain reads it DTF. For some reason, I'm like, whoa. Why is everyone always commenting that in my chat? DFW. Got it. DFW tomorrow. Look at that. At least Rufus thinks we could have some initiation in and around Dallas-Fort Worth. It's gonna be a close call. You're gonna have storms initiating over here. That's where the actual kind of QLCS is gonna start to initiate. So we'll see if I think it's going to initiate a little bit after Dallas-Fort Worth based on when this kind of trough ejection starts. Jasmine. Dude. When will the first snowfall be in Colorado Springs? I feel like you could get one pretty soon coming up here. Let's take a look at our latest Euro. Let's take a look at our latest Euro. Precipitation type. Oh, we don't want that. We want the 12Z. If this storm could give you cold enough air to get you snow into Colorado Springs. So let's check that. Let's watch that. 10 to 12 days could be your first snow in Colorado Springs. Could, big could, because we don't know if this storm system is going to act like this. This would be a big severe weather day potentially too. That's pretty far out though. No one's going to talk about it yet. But yeah, that's pretty cold out there as that moves through. What's our temperatures out there on the 28th? What's our anomalies? Let's see here. Oh yeah. Very cold. Very cold. What's our actual surface temperature? Yeah, you could be below freezing there. Hey, who knows? You could get you could get some early season snow the last week of October. Definitely going to be big snow for the mountains if we see that storm system play out like that. But we could get a little bit out there in eastern Colorado. One second. Yeah, Shreveport, we have to watch out tomorrow. I've been talking about that. Northern Louisiana. I think we could get some storms with some pretty damaging winds out there through northern Louisiana. I do think so. I do, in fact, think so. Guys, I'm probably going to get off here soon because I do plan on trying to actually do a longer stream tomorrow. Who knows? If it's a bust, maybe not. I don't typically stream on Saturdays, but I do plan on streaming tomorrow because Matt's going to stream for a while. And we haven't had severe weather in a while, so I want to get on and just do more than my average little 1-2 hour stream. So maybe conserve a little energy tonight and do a long stream tomorrow to cover the severe event. I don't know if I'm going to be on at 8 a.m. like Matt is because I don't think there's going to be anything going on at 8 a.m. But Matt loves doing these like all day streams sometimes. He gets a sick joy out of it. This was my only job, which hopefully will be one day. I'd probably do that too, though. I really want to do a 24-hour stream for my next birthday, but I've got about 11 and a half months to get back there. Yeah, I see. This isn't the latest Rufus, is it? Okay, no, okay. Yeah, there's been a little bit of a downtrend. Yeah, southern Arkansas, northern Louisiana, eastern Texas on the latest Rufus. This is the 00Z latest Rufus. I see these storms, though, potentially initiating. Huh. We could get storms initiating as early as 11 a.m., 12 tomorrow, actually. Yeah. And then all the way through the evening. The Rufus even thinks we're going to have strong, some pretty severe storms through central Mississippi tomorrow as well. Fort Worth, again, this is the area where we're seeing this. We're going to have our big trough up here to the north, shortwave trough down here. This is our storm system. As soon as they link up and this starts ejecting, we're going to get that instability and we're going to get that kind of QLCS, quasi-linear convective system, or you could call it squall line, whatever you want to call it, setting up. And does that start to get its act together right before passing over the DFW region, or does it happen right after it? That's too close. It's going to be very close to call. You could end up having severe storms moving through Dallas-Fort Worth at 11 a.m. tomorrow. Severe storms at 11 a.m. tomorrow. Or they could all develop right 10 miles out to your east. So I would just say have weather alerts on. When you get up tomorrow morning in Dallas-Fort Worth, get yourself an update. Mezzo Matt will be on early. He said 8, even if he's late. 9 a.m. MESO, M-A-T-T. Mezzo. Not miso. Not like the miso soup. Everyone calls him miso Matt. No. Mezzo, like mesoscale convective system, MCS. It's meteorological. Okay, not miso Matt. Mezzo Matt. He likes when I remind people of that. Okay, it's not soup Matt. It's strong severe storm Matt. Mezzo Matt. He'll be on and he'll give you the updates tomorrow morning if you want to get on. He'll be on live on TikTok and YouTube most likely, with this whole team answering questions. I'm going to try to get up tomorrow morning, put out a good... Tomorrow morning, I should actually have a good update video. I'm going to try to get it out before. I couldn't get my video out this morning because I had tons of work stuff, but tomorrow I don't work my 9 to 5. So tomorrow I should have a good update on how I think the severe weather event tomorrow is going to play out tomorrow morning. So you could also just go to my page and look at my video, but Matt's going to be live answering questions. And I'm also going to upload our look at the hodograph. I'm going to try to get that training video out tomorrow too, because I want to get our sounding wrapped up so I can get into the fun climatology stuff. If you want to learn about all of this weather stuff and have very easy, quick, detailed videos on how to read everything and whatever, I'm building an awesome, well, the Discord's already built, but I'm putting all these training videos in there. Join the Discord, Connor's Climate Corner HQ. Connor's Climate Corner HQ. Just add me as a friend on Discord, and I'll send you an invite. Make you part of the climate crew. Got tons of weather enthusiasts in there. We have a channel where you can show your pets, which is like super exciting, I guess, because everyone's always in there. Weather memes, and then every weather update you can possibly imagine. It's connected directly to NWS, SBC, space weather. It's an awesome Discord. So just add Connor's Climate Corner HQ on Discord, and I'll throw you right in there. And then you have a chance to win merch every month too. But yeah, I will be posting an update video on the severe weather early tomorrow morning. So if you want to really know what's going to happen, because guess what? By tomorrow morning, we're going to know if this shortwave trough sped up. And if it did speed up, it could be a pretty bad severe weather outbreak tomorrow. If it doesn't speed up, it could be a complete dud. And I'm hoping by tomorrow morning, I'm not hoping. By tomorrow morning, we'll know. We'll know by tomorrow morning. I'll make a video on it. Matt will be live, and then I'll be going live probably around a little bit later than Matt. Once stuff really starts to juice up. But yeah, severe weather. We do still see a tropical cyclone forming in the Caribbean in about 6 to 8 days. Six to 8 days. I'm not doing it, guys. So that's interesting. And then, yeah, big collapse of the polar jet and disruption of the stratospheric polar vortex in early November. So fun stuff. Maybe I'll stop losing followers. I swear to God, I post content and stream like constantly, and I'm run my Discord and I give free merch away, and I'm losing followers. That's what happens when you go through 3 months of the most boring weather the United States has ever seen on record. I don't blame people. Winter always gets interesting. People love the snow. So do I. Thanks for the 18 new followers, by the way. How early can we see snow in Seattle? Seattle, I think, is going to have a much better time in the beginning of the year than beginning of winter than late winter. So if you're going to see snow in Seattle, I'd probably think you're going to get it. Well, you're either gonna, winter. December, January looks much colder for the plains and out east. I would say a little bit earlier, and end of winter look better for the Pacific Northwest. So, listen, there's some pretty big cold blasts coming into the Pacific Northwest soon. So you guys could get a little bit of snow in November up there in Seattle, believe it or not. But your water's pretty warm off the coast. That might keep your surface temperatures regulated a little bit too much for any snow to fall in Seattle right now. You don't really want warm MPO. You don't really want above average ocean sea surface water right off your coast for a chance if you want a chance for snow. Chicago's going to have a below average winter temperature wise, and you could get some good snow in Chicago. Snow in Louisiana. You typically don't see a lot of snow in Louisiana on a weak La Nina, but we have seen years where it's been brought. Listen, you got snow in Louisiana last year in Enzo neutral, so it's possible. It's definitely possible. There's one type of weak La Nina that actually favors the southeast cold, which is weird. But there's one analog over a few weak La Ninas where you get this consistent negative NAO blocking, and it favors cold air and snow down here. So who knows if we'll get that type of weak La Nina, but I'll answer that in my updated winter forecast video. What's going on? Yeah, Josh? What's your question? How's Spencer and Anna looking for tomorrow? I'd pay attention. You could you could get some severe weather there tomorrow. The Rufus thinks you could have some severe weather rolling into Spencer, Indiana. Potentially Potentially as early as late afternoon, then into the evening hours, but it's not looking too bad. It's not looking too bad up in Indiana. I think for the most part, it's just going to be strong thunderstorms, not severe. Just go over. You don't see anything severe for West Central Missouri. No. No, this is going to be it'd be really weird to get something up there for West Central Missouri because this shouldn't initiate until it's past West Central Missouri. No, yeah, you should be fine, Claire. That probably a 1 in 100 chance. Who's a better cook, me or Matt? I think me and Matt are probably both equally completely inept when it comes to cooking. There was a period there where I got into cooking when I was in college and I was like learning recipes and I felt like I was pretty good. And then I decided buying food was just easier and getting it delivered. You know what I mean? And my wife cooks now and her cooking's amazing. And so it's like, why would I ever cook for myself? Why would I cook for myself? My food's going to come out. I'm going to spend tons of time and probably hurt myself because I'm an idiot. And then my food's going to be disgusting. Why would I ever do that to myself? No. My wife enjoys cooking and her food is fire. She got all sorts of like recipes from her mom and family. It's freaking bomb. She makes a mean sloppy joe. She makes tons of like soups and stews. What else does she make? She makes all sorts of good stuff. Spider told us about Matt's cooking skills. I think mine might be just as bad. Should I do some live streams that's cooking with Connor? Cooking with Connor. Cooking with Connor. And what I'll do is I won't use a recipe. I'll just get stuff that I think I could cook with and I'll just go for it and then I'll taste it and see how it comes out. That'd be a hilarious like once a week stream. Everybody cooking with Connor. You know how it's been getting warm in PA that at night it gets cold? Does that have anything to do with yeah. I was getting sick. Oh, 100%. When you have temperature swings like that, what causes a lot of sickness when it comes to temperature isn't really the temperature itself getting warm and cold. It's with large warm and cold swings, you're getting large pressure swings too, and you going from having more pressure, surface pressure, and then less surface pressure, it really messes with the human's equilibrium. And can mess with your sinuses. So it's not just the temperatures. It's typically in heat, you're under a higher pressure, and in cold, you're under a lower pressure. And that push and pull of pressure on the surface can mess with people's equilibriums and mess with your sinuses and all sorts of things too. Great idea, cooking with Connor. I'm back to see your weathercast, Birmingham, this winter. Listen, like I said, we typically don't. I will say this with Birmingham. I mean, yeah, Birmingham would be close. This area does typically see above average moisture in a week La Nina. Birmingham's like right on the border of that. So if we did get which we're going to get plenty of polar blasts this year, cold air blasts this year, I think we're going to have an extremely unstable stratospheric vortex. So I think Birmingham may have a chance there in central Alabama to get a good snow. All right, guys, I'm going to get off because I'm probably going to do a long stream tomorrow, and I'm going to wake up early, and I'm going to post a video about a full update on what I think this, if this trough ejection speeds up, it could be a bad severe weather day tomorrow, and if it doesn't, it could be a bust, which would be good. But I'm going to post that, and then I got to get another training video out. So you guys are all awesome. Hey, Claire, shout out. You're crazy. That was actually crazy, and I think I'm going to have to post that clip online. And, yeah, like I said, join Connor's Climate Corner. Discord, just add me on Discord, Connor's Climate Corner HQ, see what it's all about. It's freaking awesome. And mods, you're great, and we're gonna have a fun stream tomorrow, see what's going on. And I'm hoping this end of October, early November trend continues, because it'd be nice to get a little early season snow. There it is, Connor's Climate Corner HQ. Add me on Discord, and you'll be invited into the Climate Crew. All right, everyone, have a great night, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. And I gotta go check and see if baby Cantori is here yet. All right, peace.